What up, YouTube? Thanks for tuning in. We are going to be doing a whole financial review of our 2021. It was a very crazy, rocky year. At some point, we even stopped investing. So let's deep dive into a review of what we made, what we invested, what we got in dividends, so that we can evaluate our entire progress towards our FIRE goal. Let's get into it.
So in previous videos, we've done a recap of what we've made in dividends, but that really only tells part of the story. So in this 2021 annual review, we're gonna go over everything that we made in the year in both our jobs and dividend and interest income, as well as what we spent, what we invested, the whole shebang. So we're gonna go over all the details to paint a full picture of it. So first thing we're gonna get into is our income. Now, before we get started, just a quick disclaimer. All of these numbers we're about to share with you guys are tracked to the best of our ability, used like our pay stubs and everything to look back at the previous year of everything we made, as well as all of our credit statements and stuff for our spending. So this doesn't account for the fact that we have paid for things like gas and groceries a lot of times with cash, and those aren't necessarily factored in here. So these are our best estimates of the numbers.
So the first thing that we are going to look at is our income from our jobs. So this number is a combination of Brendan, which he had his same full-time job throughout entirety of 2021, and my income was devised of my own side hustle business, Sunrise Branding, as well as when I got a full-time job at Q4. So I have that income as well.
And these numbers are post-tax. Really what matters is the amount that hits your bank account and then what you decide to do with it. So these numbers are actually what hits our bank account.
So in total, it is $100,620.59.
That's a great number to start with. We're both very fortunate to have full-time jobs now, and this is the number that's getting us along the way. The next thing we're gonna share with you is our dividends for the year. So we've done a few quarterly updates in the past, but these are our dividends that we've gotten over the course of the entire year. So this is a combination of both of our brokerage accounts and both of our Roth IRAs. And the total is $3,343.52 in dividends. So good numbers for the year. That's way up from last year. We'll put on the screen what it was last year. I don't know off the top of my head. But it's increasing a ton every year, and it's really exciting to see.
Okay, and then last piece of our income here comes from interest of our high interest savings account, which we use Yada. We'll go ahead and put our review video up here, and we actually need to do another review, so stay in tune for that in the future. But with our high interest savings account, between both of our accounts, it was a total of $849.70. Honestly, this was incredible to see because dividends is our main form of investing. That's really our priority that we're saving and investing for. But just for your savings money to be making money on top of that, I mean, between the two of us was almost $900 for a year. That's just easy money at the end of the day, guys. So whether it's Yada or any other high interest savings account, this is really a no-brainer if you have cash just sitting around.
The best bank account that I could find right now that was giving the best or the highest interest rate was about 0.5%. And over the course of the year, this is also an estimate, but we got about 1.3% back on our money. So over double the best bank account that I could find. Yeah, almost 3 times, I guess. Over double, I meant to say. So that's really cool to see. Hopefully that'll just keep going up because the Fed announced that they're probably going to be raising interest rates this next year. So looking forward to that. But the total number, so between our full-time job, dividends, and interest income, our total income for the year between the two of us is $104,813.81. So that's a total amount. Obviously the huge chunk of that was our full-time job income, but the goal is to build up these other streams so that it's not quite as strain on having to put our time in to make money. Okay, so what do we do with all this income once it hits our bank account? The first thing we do is
spend it.
Here's all of our spending. We're gonna put all this in the spending category, even though some of it is investing. But the first thing we do is my company offers a 401k match. So that is the first thing we do. They offer a 50% match up to 6%, so essentially like 3% match. And so the total contributions for the year was $5,050.82. That's just great. It's almost free money at the end of the day because they're matching whatever we put in. So why not start off with doing that? The next thing that we both do is we max out our Roth IRAs. So the max for this year is $6,000. So we each do a contribution of $500 a month, totaling between the two of us at $12,000 per year. So that was the next thing that we did.
Oh, all right. So from there is definitely by far our most interesting, which is our brokerage contributions, which if you guys did not know, we use M1. We'll also put a video up here on why we recommend it. It's incredible, guys. There's also a sign up link in that description of that video to where I believe you guys can get $10 if you sign up and you put some money in your account, do something. It's really awesome. So take a look. Anyway, so for our brokerage contributions, the amount of money that we put in to get our dividends essentially this year was $55,250. So we are heavily investing, and a huge reason is because of our age, right? The compound interest that you're getting at such a young age and the time value of money.
So the total amount for these three sort of investments, the 401k, Roth IRA, and our brokerage accounts, is $72,300.82. So that's an even bigger number. It's just to show you guys, like we are not kidding around with the amount of money that we're putting away and investing, just really putting it towards our future and hopefully our ability to retire early, which we will get into.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to our personal expenses next, but the reason that we bring up all of our investments first is because we work on a pay yourself first model, because at the end of the day, this is what needs to get done, because this is what's securing our future and working towards our goal of financial independence. So if you guys are on this same track, it is incredibly important to set yourself a goal that you can stick to on a pay yourself first model. Because if you end up just saying, hey, you know what, whatever's left over in my paycheck at the end of the day, you know, I can just throw that towards my investments. It's never gonna happen. You're just never gonna reach your goals. You need something that sticks you to your game plan. So this is how we operate on the pay yourself first model.
So the total amount that we spent throughout the year, throughout 2021, was $15,443.21. So you can see that we don't spend a lot. Part of this is because we've been doing this pseudo living in your parents' basement style living on Gabby's parents' campground.
Thank you, Mom and Dad.
So we do expect this number to go up a little bit as we move forward with whatever's next. But the point being is we were able to keep our expenses extremely low this year, just again driving the point home that we want to set ourselves up for the future.
So after our spending, now we're gonna go into what's left, right? We've kind of spent through a lot of our money already. So the amount that's left over after our investments and after our spending, so essentially our leftover savings here that we have is $17,069.78. So I want to keep you guys to keep in mind that this is not all that we have in our savings. Obviously, we have our high interest savings accounts. The reason we're able to invest so aggressively is because we have all of these emergency funds and accounts already secured. So I don't want you guys thinking that, okay, let me go ahead and invest super aggressively, and then a rainy day comes and you have nothing in the bank account. That's not the point here. So this money is essentially being added to what we already have in our savings. That's going to help with our spending for next year and whatever comes next.
So now we've gone over what we do with all of our money. We get all of our money up front. We first put it into our investments, pay ourselves first. Then we pay for our living expenses, and whatever's left over we store in cash. So here are just a few last numbers to remind ourselves in the future. These are what we want to keep driving up. First number to share is our investing rate. So this is all the money that we're investing throughout the year divided by how much we made in the year. And that number is 68.98%. So almost 70% of the money that we're getting, we are investing. So we're at a really high rate right now.
I don't know if that could continue to go up.
I don't know either, but it's great to start at this point, and then we'll go forward. The idea is to have the number as high as you can, especially when you're young. Set yourself up for the future. So the next number that we have is our savings rate. I put savings in quotations because this is really all the money that we're either investing or have saving in cash. So this is investments plus cash savings, and that number is 85.27%. These are really high. I would not expect everyone to be able to do this because we're in a really fortunate situation, but just want to pull back the curtain and see where we're at. So we have an 85% savings rate.
Once again, a huge reason of that is because of being able to live with my parents in that hybrid situation and save a lot of money. So when you're not spending a lot, you might as well spend it towards your future and invest.
The higher, I know Mr. Money Mustache has a great blog on here. I'll link it down below. That basically how fast you can retire is all boiled down to one number, and it's your savings rate. The higher percent of your salary that you can save each year and invest, the quicker you can retire. So that's a good influence on how we have such a high number. So the higher the number, the better, essentially. And the last number that we're going to share with you guys
is
the
most important.
It's our FIRE percentage number. So our percent along the way until we're able to, if we wanted to, quit our full-time jobs and live off of our dividend and interest income. And that number is 27.15%. So we're over a quarter of the way to our goal. We're about two and a half years in now. So 27% is not a small number, but it's only one way to go is up.
So we're like 27% retired.
You could say that. We'll just take one day out of every 4 days off and just like pretend that.
All right, guys, well, that is it. So those are our numbers. We would love to hear what you guys think in the comments down below about how much we made, our percentage towards retirement. We would just love to hear any sort of feedback here. We're gonna be continuing with these FIRE update videos, hopefully on a quarterly basis, but we really just wanted to have this year in review so that way you guys can get the whole picture. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys like content like this, feel free to give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to our channel to help support us as we go forward. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to Gab and Bren, and we'll catch you guys next time.